Well, President Trump has signed a flurry of new executive orders ushering in big changes for many things, and among those, the U.S. military.
Yes, and who can serve. Doug Luzader joins us this morning to break this all down for us. Doug, nearly 60 federal employees whose jobs focus solely on DEI, they have now been placed on paid leave. So what does the future look like for these folks?
Well, look, you know, the whole of government is going to go through some big changes here, especially when it comes to programs like DEI. And this is at the Pentagon. It's at every federal agency you can imagine. And we're even seeing it kind of trickle down to corporations. With things are changing in terms of how DEI is really viewed. These folks, many of them are placed on paid administrative leave, more or less, so they're still kind of getting paychecks. They're just not doing anything. Part of this has to do with the difficulty in actually eliminating jobs at the federal government. That may be the next step here. But the president is going to tout some, no doubt, some substantial savings from all of this. There are a lot of critics, though, who are defending these programs.
Yeah, and then the president signed an executive order directing the Secretary of Defense to revise the Pentagon's policy on transgender troops. There was also the policy on the videos for Tuskegee Airmen. Kind of give us an update in both of these cases. Does this mean that there could be an eventual ban on transgender people's military service? What's going on here?
Well, it's certainly possible. This is going to incorporate a review now in terms of how the military handles these kinds of situations. We don't know ultimately what's going to come of this, but this does kind of follow up on some work that the president tried to do during his first term in office. So, you know, a lot of this second term completing agenda items that Trump was not able to get done in his first term.
One more question before we let you go, Doug. The latest TikTok controversy here. President Trump now says that Microsoft may be interested in acquiring this app, that he'd like to see a bidding war kick off. How realistic is this possibility?
Well, it's certainly possible, and, you know, there are plenty of people that may be interested in buying TikTok. This really comes down to a central question of whether TikTok is interested in being sold. That's been the overarching issue here. And, you know, absent some agreement that TikTok is willing to make, it's just not clear how you satisfy the demands of this law, which require divestiture. And the deadline now has been pushed back to early April, but that's not too far away.
Yeah, there's interesting in being sold versus interesting in staying alive. Yeah. We will continue to follow up on it. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thank you, Doug.
Thanks so much.
Yes, sir.